Hello everyone, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Dark Heresy. Last time, we began our adventure into the place called Mariport something something, Mariportum Sectoris, Marisportum Sectoris, where we learned that there is an ongoing conflict between the Sister Septima and Inquisitor Melisentilla, and otherwise, I don't think we know yet what is the actual problem here is and what we are investigating. We know there are missing people here and something is up with the sea. There are sea quakes. And now Inquisitor Melisentilla has spawned off her work on us, so we are going to have to do some interrogation and do some investigation. Let's go. An authorization code is required to access this sacred machine. Let's force our access. It is immediately apparent that this cogitator has been maintained well. The machine spirit responds to your request eagerly. The V screen lights up with words. Authorization successful. Level echo. View the inventory log. The V screen shows a record of all the machinery units employed at the excavation site along with their serial numbers. There is a foreman's confirmation note below. View the high engine seals reports. The V screen blinks a few times. A message appears. High level of access required. View recent entries on the incident log. Most of the entries contain nothing unusual. The last one, however, does catch your attention. It seems that the sentries spotted armed individuals attempting to approach the excavation site undetected. The guards eliminated the trespassers, who, upon examination, were found to be members of a local gang. Okay, so she is having problems with the locals. And we have our investigation board. Okay, and it added to our clue list. Local bandits were watching the excavation. And all of the workers have disappeared for unknown reasons. Okay. Loot. Always loot. And let's yap with the... Okay, we cannot yap with the acolytes. We can probably yap with the recologer. I wonder what that word means, recologer. Can I look it up on the internet? Will it tell me something? Let's see. Google recologer. Okay, the first results that pop up are rogue traitor. So I think this is a made-up word. Okay, it is probably okay. It is derived from a Latin verb meaning to gather, to collect again, to recover. Okay, so he is a scavenger, but with a fancy fake Latin word. The old man looks up at you, exhaustion written in his empty gaze. His dry fingers fiddle mindlessly with the edges of his blood-stained wrap. One of Melisentilla's acolytes nods at you. It is the rare fortune to see an acolyte of a dead Inquisitor not follow him to the grave on the Cabal's orders. Okay, our Inquisitor has perished. Paying acolytes not the slightest attention, Epion gives the witness a cursory look before turning to you. Numerous signs of bruising, superficial damage to the surface layers of the skin, apparent loss of integrity in some of the smaller bones. The procedure was performed with sufficient expertise to ensure that the witness would not expire, yet retain the ability to feel pain. Still, I would recommend refraining from further application of violence, given the subject's age. Glare at... Sure, let's glare at the witness menacingly. The old man cowers under your gaze. Ask me anything, master. Tell me what you have already told the Inquisitor, and don't even think about hiding anything. Yes, master. I used to scoop grease off your food vats here. Traded it for rations at the market. First time that great machine of yours went all quiet, I waited a little, and came to see what this place was about. I saw intruders here, with weapons. So I hid in one of them vats, and they didn't spot me. That's why I've been hiding every time since. But now you found me after all. He weakly jerks his shoulder in the direction of the acolyte. Describe the intruders. About a dozen of them there was. They had guns. Scary folks. Could have been bandits or such like. I didn't get a good look at them, but they weren't here for the food beds, that's for sure. Okay, that checks out with the cogitator records we know. What do you know about the nightmares affecting people in Marisport? Oh, I know about the sleep sickness. When the sea started shaking, that's when the nightmares came. Came down with it. Those bloke of the repentance folks say it's the God Emperor warning us, telling us to repent. But I don't know about any of that, Master. I just want to get by. Tell me about this flock of repentance. Believers from his congregation, Master. Yeah, that is Adeptus Ministro. They've lost their way, though. They've all forgotten Saint Sibelius's name. Now they say everyone should cleanse themselves for pain. They say that's how we can serve the good Emperor and save ourselves from the nightmares. They have a leader. Fancy old name. I forget what it was. But I did see their marks around the camp. Written blood over. We have also seen those. Have you noticed anything suspicious in Marisport? I have, Master, I have. The old man perks up. There's those divers living by the shore. Madmen all, I tell you. One day, there I was, walking along the shore, seeing what the sea might have brought. I look over, and it's some divers, chanting something, or maybe it was witchcraft, I couldn't tell. And then they started dumping corpses in the water. I took off running. It was horrible. I heard those apostates worship some sea creature like it's a saint. It's why they butcher people, to off them to the beast. Seen it myself, Master, but it's what people say. Is that everything? Don't forget, the more you tell me, the better your chances of leaving. The old man's gaze suddenly clears. The Baron's orders were that no one to come near this place. But those armed intruders, they look like his lot. Okay. Do we let him go? Stay here, I may have more questions later. All you hear in response is the old man's quiet whimpering. Okay, that is a way to the lower level of the excavation. And we can jump in this game. Incredible. What a development. Part of an ancient structure is buried under the rubble. This ruin was of no interest to the expedition. It is incredible, but it's in service to nothing. Cool. Okay. So we can go further down here. Do we keep investigating this right now? Or... okay, we can quick save. I forgot about that. Cool. Before we go there, let's take a quick trip back and check if there was anything else we... okay, more stuff. Ho ho ho. We found something. Traces of fading... okay. Traces of fading psychic force activity detected. Changing scan mode to construct a hollow projection based on residual particles not suitable for standard visual analysis. Okay, the divers perform sinister rituals. And... there are spherical prints. Spherical imprints invisible to the human eye have been found at the excavation site, manifesting themselves in the server assistant's particular wave radiation. Okay. So we can create a conclusion that the divers killed the expedition members for ritual purposes and disposed of their bodies in the sea. But that is not yet definitive. First of all, let's do this. Let's inspect. A strange imprint, unnaturally spherical in shape. Okay. Yep. Research. Companion is willing to offer assessment. The source of the tracks and their purpose could not be identified. Measurable characteristics. Perfectly round sphere with a radius of 1.8 meters, so possibly teleportation. What a bizarre mark. It's as if real space itself split at the seams, and then an unknown force repaired the tear, leaving a thin suture. The cipher believes the mark was once a rift in real space, now perfectly stitched back together by an unknown force. Okay. We sure are learning things. Do we want to create this conclusion for the time being? Maybe it's a bit too early. The echoing footfalls cause stone dust to fall from the spiral grooves of the drill. One of the newfangled cutscenes that this game has. Compared to Rogue Trader, that is. Neat. Let's go back to the loadout. Oh. Your combat hisses to life, and you hear Inquisitor Millicentilla's voice cutting through the static. Leaving the camp, Acolyte? You must have a very good reason for ignoring my orders. Would you care to share it with me? I will return and finish reconstruction. I hope this is the last time I have to remind you to do your job. Okay, apparently we are stuck here for the time being, so that is fine. Let's work here then. I wanted to go and try and finish the quest about Cog's Sergeant, as we found a few leads there, but none of them were correct. But maybe not now. It is actually really cool that I have added verticality to this game. It definitely makes the environments more interesting than they were before. The influence of Baldur's Gate 3, I presume. There are knife marks on the inside of the vat. Someone tried to scrape off the hardened leftover porridge. Are we falling into an ambush? Immediately? Is that an Eldar? That feels like an Eldar. Is that a Chaos Mark? Okay, this is an Eldar. I'm not sure if that is a Chaos Mark. It might be. An inhumanly tall figure encased in outlandish armor appears out of nowhere. The ornate helmet dims, and a distorted, otherworldly voice reaches your ears. I see you bear the pendant of Inquisitor Millicentilla. Greetings, emissary. May he steal our hearts so that we banish all doubts of the righteousness of humanity. May he grant us strength to bring the just retribution upon the enemies of humanity. Taro recites his prayer in a cold voice, keeping his eyes locked on the stranger. As indicated by a slight turn of the helmet, the armored figure throws a cursory glance in the Sagat's direction. And may fate grant you the reason to subdue your innate aggression when you should. Correct. The Inquisitor sent me. Let's not freak out in front of a Xenos. The helmet dips. Your arrival is timely. I just finished my rituals of perceiving. Emma whistles. Inquisitor Millicentilla isn't squeamish about the tool she uses. She's brought in as Xenos sorcerer, and right under Septima's nose. Heresy. The heresy of pride, which spurs one to believe in one's own exceptionality, and the heresy of consorting with the enemies of humanity. You're one of the Eldari, sentient, highly evolved Xenos, enemies of humanity. You have guessed my race, but I am no foe to you or your tribe. Inquisitor Millicentilla and I have forged a temporary alliance, one that benefits us both. Epion looks at the Xenos with distaste and releases a breath. I must admit that the Inquisitor has always adhered to the principle of tolerance towards alien species capable of communication. A truly unique individual among your kind. What kind of sorcery did you just use? Like an earless person querying the melody of a song, you are trying to understand that which you are incapable of grasping. Abandon the attempt, small creature. I have no time to waste on fruitlessly explaining my gift. So, you're the Inquisitor's associate whom I was supposed to meet? The stranger is silent, as if giving you time to realize the pointlessness of your question. Finally, a somewhat disdainful sniff comes from beneath the helmet. Judging by your reaction, Inquisitor Melisentila did not deign to enlighten you about the identity of her associate. To business. You should have information for me. Inquisitor Melisentila wishes to know if sorcery was involved in the disappearance of her underlings. Sorcery of a special kind, which has its source in the darkest corruption. The Xenos takes the Inquisitor's pendant from your hands and continues speaking in a changed melodic tone. I hear the echo of what your kind calls the Empyrean. However, in this sound, I discern not the foulness of that which the Monkey call the archenemy, but ancient fatigue and the malevolence of a twisted mind. Investigation. Okay, related due to the missing persons case. Interesting. The Eldari believes that the disappearance of people from the excavation site is not as a result of the actions of ordinary mortals. Interesting. Tell me more about this echo of the Empyrean. The helmet turns, as though the creature is pondering your request. Several seconds elapse in silence. It is powerful, all-consuming, and at the same time, feeble, like the sigh of a song lost in a labyrinth. Sorcery of monstrous power that served its purpose, whatever it was, and then vanished without a trace. The malevolence of a twisted mind, but not the archenemies? The Eldari shakes his head. Your people are too young, and your perception of existence too rudimentary for you to comprehend the Empyrean in any depth. I will only say that the corrupting forces from beyond the veil hold sway over many creatures. There can be no doubt that the secrets of such species lie buried in the past of this sector, secrets whose very revelation would imperil your feeble mind. The investigation is straightforward, but I have a slew of questions about you, Eldari. Save your breath. I am a way seeker, and I am here because Inquisitor Melisentila is offering me protection on my mission in exchange for my gift. Those who follow the path of the seer among my people are much more attuned to the Empyrean, and our manipulations of it lead to far fewer consequences than your fumbling. Inquisitor Melisentila has chosen my skills over the assistance of one of your witches. A way seeker? What is that? I am a guide and navigator for my kind. My gift enables me to chart courses through the webway, and in real space. The helmet tilts slightly to the side. There exists another application for my gift, but that knowledge is of no use to you. It concerns only my people and our sorrows. The Inquisitor is offering her protection, but you're in Xenos. Clearly, Inquisitor Melisentila's authority supersedes the laws that govern Lower Monkey, although I am obliged to hide my nature from your kind to avoid provoking panic. Even so, few of your people can discern what I am at a glance, and rather than using sorcery that would make you all look straight through me, a hood and a mask suffice. What is your mission? What are you doing on a human world? Your kind cannot hope to genuinely claim ownership of any planet, ball creature, and I am unwilling to reveal the reasons for my presence here. Suffice it to say that I am seeking a path to salvation out of a ring of darkness, away from a peril far greater than the discord between our species. A ring of darkness? You're speaking of the Noctis Eterna, so humans are not the only ones suffering from this tragedy. I have no idea what this is. This surprises you. Curious? Where the archenemy's forces burst through the veil from their dimension and defile the world of things, no species is safe. Not mine, or yours, or any other. What salvation are you talking about? You are overly inquisitive for a human who has casually crossed my path, and naive, for you expect my candor. If your heart is troubled by the thought that a Xenos is plotting evil against the Monkey of this world, then it need not be. I am here only to do my duty, to seek a way. I'm interested in an ancient Xeno species that is somehow connected to the Tyrant Star. Do you know it? The Xeno tilts his head slightly. I can guess what you are referring to. The echo of their songs whispers across this world, and here as well. My name is Acolyte, and I could use your help with those ancient secrets we talked about earlier. It is unfortunate that our name is Acolyte. Come to your senses, Acolyte. Do not make this mistake. The armor-clad figure sweeps an appraising eye over you. Perhaps we could have, were it not for my arrangement with Inquisitor Millicentilla. I have no interest in the company of a monkey that will simply be underfoot. The Eldari raises his hand in preparation to work some sorcery. Then he suddenly pauses. The faceless helmet turns to you. Larthir. My name is Larthir Carnareth, small creature. I am sure we will see him again, because he is definitely a party member. Okay, so he didn't, like, disappear in a cool way, he just fucked off. Okay. Let's keep inspecting. What do we have here? The braids scattered around the camp have been crudely forced open. If there ever was anything of value inside, it has already been pilfered. Registering evidence of forced access to the storage. Incident classified as an act of sacrilege and subversion of the authority of the Holy Order. Entry archived. Install the following invoker. Okay. Field Gang. The Eldari claims to sense echoes of incredibly powerful warp sorcery at the excavation site. Checks out, we do too. The Eldari believes that the disappearance of people from the excavation site is not as a result of the actions of ordinary mortals, which puts a challenge to the theory that the divers killed and disposed of the members for ritual purposes. Okay, maybe it doesn't do if it's only one of them. Woman's reports. Location, excavation site, Sector 4, Shift 138, Foreman, Martin. Layers of rock removed, 18. Okay. Personal losses, 3 workers, cause collapse. Extracted items, 12 scrolls, 3 machine relics. Delivered to the Magos. Proceeding as scheduled. A total of 3 disciplinary violations were observed during the shift. Going outside the perimeter without authorization. The perpetrators were questioned thoroughly. Shift 162. Unsanctioned beliefs are confirmed to be spreading among the workers, which has led to the acts of violence. The perpetrators were isolated. No intervention from Inquisitor Millicentilla is necessary. Requested a 4-hour shift extension as per the emergency protocol. Shift 175. 3 of the workers absconded to join the heretical. Permission to eliminate requested. Awaiting orders. Established a curfew for all personnel. Okay. A new clue. Analyze the data. New information added. Ray missing expedition. According to Foreman's notes, some members of the expedition had begun secretly following the teachings of the Flock of Repentance. Suspicious? What happened to the analysis? Hold on, there was a button to research or something? What happened to that? What happened to that? Did I miss it? Okay, let's quickly redo things to get that button back. I want to have it and press it. Okay, yep, the Eldari and the Eldari. Examine, scan, set up the Holo Invoker. Get stuff out of this bag. Collect. Okay. Let's try again. Analyze data. Research. Oh, never mind though. I thought it had like a follow-up button like talk to a companion, but apparently not. Let's keep going then. The vid screen's lumens flicker furiously. Someone must have angered the machine spirit. The tracks left by the steel-toed work boots are intermingled with numerous other prints. It is difficult to work out what happened here and the chronology of events. Multiple prints detected in the bedrock and surrounding area, initiating scan for further analysis. Okay. Yes, the knife marks, we have read about those. A fragment of the column has splintered off, and the metal near it is melted, both pointing to a shot from a lath weapon. The ground is covered in iridescent stains. Thick, oily stench clogs your nostrils, but cannot completely mask the smell of blood soaked into the dirt. Registering signs of a confrontation between two armed groups. We can install holo invokers in different paths. Let's try to roll away the tractor. Don't fuck it up, Saro. And it is just access to a box, which gets us Flame Shroud. At the start of their turn, the wearer's armor durability is increased by plus willpower bonus for each burning unit in combat. Lasts until the start of the wearer's next turn. Okay, we currently do not have a cloak, so might as well equip. An expedition tent temporarily occupied by Inquisitor Melisentila. There is nothing in the containers except for the smell of Physaline that makes your throat itch. The workers could not have used up the entire supply of explosives. Someone must have stolen it from the excavation site. Missing from the excavation site are crates of Physaline, a dangerous explosive likely used by workers to quickly remove obstacles and clear debris. Can we yap with you some more? Largebear stares off into the distance. He may not have noticed you. Finally he murmurs. Is there something you wanted from me, small creature? You mentioned in our last conversation that you know of an ancient species of Xenos associated with the Tyrant Star. This part of real space conceals many secrets buried beneath the ashes of the ages. Before your kind came here on their campaign of destruction, the local worlds bore witness to many civilizations, but one stood out. There is scarcely a planet in this region of space that doesn't bear traces of it. Is that why you're here? Because of these traces? No, I was drawn here by a song distinct from theirs. But the depths of this world hide so many springs that the very air rings around me, and I cannot hear it properly. Inquisitor Melisentila was supposed to assist me after I helped her. It seems we can be of use to each other. I promise to help you find what you're seeking, and you will help me in my research. Largebear is silent for a while. If you cannot convince Inquisitor Melisentila to pass her obligations to you, and this time, the monkey will aid me first. I will not wait until I have exhausted my usefulness in your eyes and you attempt to betray me. How do I know you won't leave as soon as you get what you want? All you can do is trust my words, just as I trust the words of the inferior and aggressive species inhabiting the world that is necessary to my mission. Agreed. I'll make arrangements with the Inquisitor. Arthur inclines his head. I will be interested to see how you fare in your endeavors. I must go. We can inspect this thing. Inside the fallen tent, the metal of the portable regicide board gleams in the dark. Its owner never got to finish their game. I wonder if I assume we passed the check. Okay, just to be sure, I will reload and see if it actually works. Because it didn't say passed or failed. But it had a percentage. Okay, it failed. The ripped stands show signs of claws and beaks. They could have been left by people whose bodies have been altered by the hab zone's toxic environment. I'm not going to save scum the entire game, but here I was not sure if it's a bug or something. Okay. The strange tracks found at the excavation site are believed to belong to mutated creatures the size of humans. We have a broken servitor. The servitor's body is covered in notches and wounds. Someone methodically carved patterns into its flesh with a knife. More stuff here. We'll get around to you. A large four-toed footprint is deeply embedded in the ground. The mud around it has been churned up to cover the other tracks of the four-toed intruders. Someone was attempting to cover up the presence of strange creatures at the excavation site. Mutants? Question mark? Before we go further, let's finish up things here. Millicent Hill raises her chin as you approach. Here. Here's the acolyte. Latvier hasn't already informed me that he told you of his findings. I dare say what he told you might even be the truth. Standing close by, the Xenos doesn't react to the Inquisitor's words. His gaze is distant, staring past you, as if he is listening to a melody only he can hear. You have unusual assistance. Some things are more accessible to the cunning and heightened perception, to the cunning mind and heightened perceptions of an Eldari. This is your chance to make use of his abilities. It would be unwise to spurn it. You cannot help but notice the thrum of tension in the Inquisitor's tone and the look she casts at the Eldari. It seems that, despite her confident words, she is anxious about the Xenos presence in her unit, most likely due to the dangerous proximity of a Sister of Battle to the excavation site. I would like Lars here to join my rating. I'm willing to take over your agreement with him. Out of the question. As of yet, you have not proved yourself capable enough to be permitted to have dealings with the Xenos. Did you think I would entrust a Corsair ally to a bumbling incompetent? Provide me with the reconstruction of the events. And I question the witness. Do you plan to inform me at every time you sneeze? Draw your conclusions and submit a full report, acolyte. Okay. The final full invoker. And now they are working. We'll get around to that in a moment. Inspect Lore Heresy. Shit. Okay, I will save scum this. Sorry. I will save scum this. I want to know about the Heresy. It is an addictive fruit, the saves coming. The religious symbols of the Marisportum fanatics have been sketched by an inexpert and trembling hand. A clear attempt to imitate the real thing. The servitors at the bottom of the pit have frozen in unnatural poses. There are no apparent signs of damage, and yet they seem to ignore all commands and make no attempts to return to the camp. Oh, we found a box of goodies. Neat. Oh yeah, there are servitors down below. Let's check this. Server Sentinel. The mechanisms of the broken server skull creak in futile attempt to restore functionality. Can we do anything with it? Someone has ripped out the sacred circuits from the guts of this cogitator. The console is shattered, and a bundle of sparking cables protrudes from the casing. Let's blow up the obstacle and clear the rubble. And find a box of shit called Amulet. Amulet of blued metal bearing an engraving in sacred code. Interesting. The deck piece's body has been severed in half. The cut looks unnaturally even. Maybe we can use the code on the cogitator up above. One half of the body of an Adeptus Mechanica 7 has been found under one of the rubble piles, severed by an unnaturally smooth cut. Analyze the terrain around the body from the hollow pit. Identifying key features for comparison. These parameters will form the basis for analysis. The other half of the body is missing, and no trace of its movements could be found. It's as if it vanished into thin air. Companion is willing to offer assessment. The internal fluids left the body post-mortem, most likely due to the rockfall. All across the primary wound area, the vessels and fluid tubes were cauterized at once. I have never seen such neat and clean wounds. Okay, so could this be the warp sorcery, the teleportation thing? Look at this clean cut, like it's been done with the last cutter. But the caliber is not non-standard, so it's not an Inquisition issue weapon. Okay. Any other conclusions we can draw? Not yet. Okay, we will bring the code amulets above. To ransack the camp. Aha. Okay, we are actually drawing our own conclusions. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Who was attacked at the excavation site? Who was attacked? I mean, feels like we should say that the bandits were attacked? No, that the expedition members were attacked. And who attacked the expedition site? I think it was the bog beasts. A large photo footprint is deeply embedded in the ground. The mud around it has been churned up to cover the other tracks of the photoed intruders. Oh, it's not mutants, it's the Kroot. It's the Kroot who attacked. Okay. That's quite a change. Why are there tracks from work boots? The expedition members left the camp. The expedition members were taken away by force. The work boot tracks do not belong to the workers. The bog beasts attacked the workers and dragged the bodies away. Possible? I feel like maybe the work boot tracks do not belong to the workers. These are a bit nebulous. Okay, I think... wait. This is a Kroot. I think the bandits took this up, not the bog beasts. I think there are independent events happening here. But who was attacked is the fanatics? Maybe? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure about this. Is something going to happen when I get it right? Okay, let's go and check the cogitator. Yeah, I need to think a bit on what is probably going on there and actually build a proper theory. First of all, cogitator spirit. Okay, no, but it does not help us. Recology. Crates of Physaline have gone missing from the camp. What do you know about that? Fight me. I don't remember, Master. I do not know. Do you know who or what... I think it has to be the Baron's people. Do you know who or what left the photoed footprints? Listen to Tila's acolytes exchange meaningful glances. Footprints, you say? Some accused mutant, maybe? But none that I've seen, Master. No. It's time to decide what to do with you. I've done what I need to know. You're free to go. Grunting and teetering, the Recologer gets up from his knees and takes a step back, trying to regain his balance. Garrus catches the other acolyte's eye and nods toward the old man. Oh, Saint Sibelius! Thank you, Master! Thank you! Limping and clutching a bleeding wound, the old man backs toward the elevator, still muttering expressions of gratitude. Hmm. Okay, I think what happened is that the bandits. I think the fanatics are a red herring, and it is a false flag. The fanatics are probably not related. I think the bandits have attacked the camp to steal, but they were in turn intercepted by the Kroot. Oh, another box of shit. Torture instruments. Cutting tools, tongs, needles, and a curved knife, all crusted with dried blood, and lovingly arranged inside the cave. So that is tying to the fanatics. Okay. Okay. Maybe it's like this. The bandits took the supplies, I think is true. And here, I think who was attacked, it was the bandits. Mm. I like this correct arrangement. But we will see. The Inquisitor turns her gaze to Cock. The Inquisitor turns her gaze on Cock. An ogre with enhanced intelligence. You don't come across too many of those outside of Astra Militarum. Interesting escort you have. Cock, who up until now was uninterestedly digging a hole in the ground with the tip of his boot, looks up in surprise. They usually tell me I'm smart. Not that I'm interested. I am ready to discuss what happened at the camp. Are you sure you have not missed anything? I'm sure. I have a working theory. Let's see if I'm right. It seems there was a skirmish in the camp over supplies, but I am not yet convinced of your conclusions. You think threats from some ragtag bandits would induce an armed Inquisition expedition to leave their post? I believe. Melisentila drums her fingers on her holster as she considers. One thing we can agree on. There was a skirmish between the bandits and the so-called Bog beasts, trying to ransack the already abandoned camp. The armed bandits overpowered the mutants and took all the supplies. But this does not explain the tracks leading away from the camp. Oh, okay, so I think there are 3 steps. First, the fanatics leave with the supplies, then the bandits attack, and then the Kroot attack. Look, they're crisp, clearly made by heavy work boots. But I already said, my people would never leave their post willingly. Find out where they lead. Can you manage that? Workers' boots. The work boots boot tracks left on the dusty ground lead toward the elevator, the way out of the field camp. Something strange is afoot in Marisportum. My agent, Rufinus Craig, has been working undercover in this God-Emperor-forsaken place for several months already. We were due to meet at the excavation site. But the latest seaquake cut off our communication. Track him down, and help me with this mission, if necessary. Tell him that Lady M sent you. He will aid in your investigation. You want me to waste time on his mission? What about the missing workers? You're wasting time right now, asking stupid questions. Craig has been keeping an eye on Marisportum. He is a valuable source of information. How will I recognize him? The Inquisitor holds out a small portable device displaying a scowling man with burn scars over half of his face. Rufinus prefers to cover his face, but if you pay close attention, you'll spot other signs. His augmented lower leg, or his tattoos. The image of the device on the device changes. You see an assortment of unremarkable symbols. Memorize them, Acolyte. This is how my people recognize each other. Am I permitted to know the particulars of Agent Craig's mission? I tasked Craig with investigating a cabal of swamp mutants on the outskirts of the Hab Zone and assessing their usefulness to the Tyrantine Cabal. These are his reports. Study them. That will be enough to start with. The agent was studying a clan of bog beasts that had established itself on the outskirts of the Marisportum sectors. Reports. Okay, we need to read it. A quick scan of the reports leaves you in no doubt. The bulk beasts the Inquisitor is referring to are a clan of Xenos, the Crude. Evidently, Melisentila and her people prefer to use this unsophisticated nickname given to the Xenos by the ignorant lower hive dwellers in order to rid the clan of unwanted attention, or perhaps somehow use the Crude to their own benefit. Report number 1. Confirm the information. The unregistered Orc Beasts belong to a clan that disappeared during the cleansing of the Stellaris sectors. 2 leaders, multiple burns. Everything matches our data. I assume the contractor doesn't know the clan survived. No one from the upper hive has contacted the clan during the observation period. Continue surveillance and awaiting further instruction. Report number 2. The clan doesn't seem ready for any combat action. For now, the mutants are losing to regular bandits, but they have potential. I am acting according to Protocol XE3. I will turn these outcasts into mercenaries worthy of being in your employ. Plus, report number 3. Contact established. Progress is going better than I expected. In the trust of one of the leaders, pushing him toward decisions favorable to us. The clan is no longer at risk of extinction, and the potential of the mutants is growing. Report number 4. The results are positive, but progress has slowed. Received information from the leader. To strengthen the clan, a special diet is required. They need exceptional prey. Strong, agile, nutritious, with unique traits. I already have thoughts on this. Details at the next communication. Any other questions? Since we are done with the reconstruction, can I take over your arrangement with Larv here? We can be useful to one another. The Inquisitor mulls it over for several seconds, clearly calculating. At last, she hums in agreement. Very well, I'm not opposed. Kairnareth? Larv tilts his head to the side, surveying you. Time will tell if this small creature can live up to his word. For now, I will trust my instincts and consent to changing the agreement, on the condition that the Acolyte assists me with some unfinished business here in this settlement. Fine, Acolyte, now Larv Kairnareth is your burden to bear. Do not expect it to be easy. Offering protection to a Xenos is risky. Melisentila hesitates before adding, slightly more quiet. Don't be afraid to mention the name of Anton Zerbe. His patronage will help you avoid the wrath of people like Septima. The outlandish helmet turns to you. Speak with me in the place where we met. I want to discuss exactly how your newfound patronage will benefit me. Sister Septima asked me to find out what your agent is doing on the outskirts of Marisportum. Think carefully about what you tell her. Betray the Inquisition, and it won't just be your career that comes to a swift and invidious end. These so-called bog beasts, they're crude, aren't they? Melisentila's eyebrow twitches, but she gives no other sign of surprise. Clever. Indeed, it refers to the crude. Carnivorous Xenos native to a different part of the galaxy. This clan has settled on the outskirts of the Hab Zone and has been under observation by the Order Xenos for some time. Keep its existence secret until the mission is complete. Okay, I'm ready to begin investigating. This case is not as simple as it appears. Do not rush to any conclusions. Turn over every stone in Marisportum before you send your case report. Your task is to dig until you uncover the truth, not to pin the blame on the first person you meet. Find out what happened to my workers. I hope you understand me, Acolyte. Okay. Let's do a save. And let's see if the dialogue changes if we switch things up. So I think the definitely correct parts are that the Crude fought the bandits. Is it the fanatics that took the reports? The supplies? I think the bandits took the supplies. But maybe the expedition members left the camp. That is probably correct. Yeah, we've had this for a while. And it doesn't seem true, honestly. Let's see. Okay, she is not convinced. She doesn't buy that her people left on her own. Okay. And if we load again and try different things. Okay. This time, first things first, let's accept this conclusion. The divers killed the expedition members, although I find it questionable. And it is not an option. I guess we can go with expedition members were taken away by Horus. Let's see how this goes. Okay. She doesn't mention anything at all in this situation. Odd. These are undoubtedly tracks made by work boots. But it seems my people had already left by the time of the altercation. So then, to whom do they belong? Bracintilla looks at you. Find out where they lead. Okay. Interesting. I guess that is probably the correct answer. That the tracks do not belong to the expedition members. And they vanished? Okay, this time I cannot skip. It bugged out, I guess. And this time we failed. Okay. Well, in any case, we are going to continue from our original save file with the conclusions that we made, even if they are apparently partially incorrect, but you know, we are trying. We are trying, and we cannot pick up the following workers, which is, I feel like, maybe quite odd. So we you know what, we can talk to Larger and then probably wrap up the episode. And the place of... there he is. Okay, you said the place of the first contact like it was some wildly different location. This is 5 steps away from where we met, from where you were standing. Larger, who stands perfectly still in the center of the excavation, raises his arm, signaling to you. Inquisitor Melisentilla wishes to know what happened to her underlings. While exploring this place, I have discovered many mysteries, buried secrets, hidden songs. The helmet tilts slightly to one side in clear contemplation. They are here, beneath the ground, waiting for someone to listen and unravel them. Some are connected to the Xenos you asked about, but not all of them. The melodies of these mysteries rise to the surface in places where the veil between the Empyrean and the real space has worn thin. I must reach these places and perform the rituals to hear what is being said in each song. They are located in areas where dwellings of your kind are concentrated. Melisentilla's entourage calls this place Marisportum. Marisportum, but it is under the watch of Sister Septima of the Adeptus Sororitas. And the helmet slowly turns in your direction. Did you suppose that helping me would begin and end with your fine company? You were mistaken. You will find a way to ensure that no one interferes in my mission. What kind of rituals will you be performing? I will turn all my attention deep underground, to songs forgotten by time and hidden by the ashes of generations. When those songs find a listener, they will reveal to me the mysteries that echo beneath our feet. The inhabitants of Marisportum will be terrified at the mere sight of a Xeno. No, the intelligence of the local monkey is insufficient to recognize a member of another species in disguise. They will take me for a distorted version of their own kind. Arthur gives a slight shake of his head. The white-haired monkey from whom Inquisitor Melisentilla is so keen to avoid, however. It would be best if she and I did not meet either. Not yet, at least. Melisentilla jettisoned her arrangement with you too easy. She seized her chance to get rid of this burden as soon as I was no longer needed. That surprised you, surely. The helmet turns to you. You cannot see the Xenos' face, but you can almost feel his frustrated gaze resting. Well, let's begin. What kind of places do you require? A short pause. A place full of life. A place imbued with emanations. A place hidden from prying eyes. I did not understand a word of that. I am not surprised. Even my kin struggle to interpret the Imperium's signs. I don't expect understanding from you. I would like you to tell me what you learned. Larcher makes a sound of confusion. To what end? Our mutual aid doesn't entail any additional social mutuals. I have put my trust in you. I would like you to trust me at least a little in return. That is all. Trust is a precious gift. I have yet to see if you are worthy of it. But your desire to know more is laudable. Yes, I will tell you what I discover. Larcher turns away, as though he lost interest in the conversation. Come, when we draw close to one of the places I seek, I will hear an echo of one of the songs, and I will tell you. Yay! A new companion. Let's take a look at our new psyker. So, Mr. Larfer, with what feels like a slightly unfinished portrait. Or maybe it's... no, there are very different styles. This guy is completely rendered. He has sketched out legs. He is from Rogue Trader. He is completely rendered, of course. This is acceptable, so she is finished. Hog is totally finished. These feel like a work in progress. Although the blurriness can be seen, artistic choice for the background aspect. He is surprisingly shit at all of the lores. He is a perception guy, not a smarty guy. Interesting. He is a way seeker, which we know nothing about. He gets weapon skill, agility, awareness, and reflexes. And he can use Wayseeker's Path and Deadly Insight. His movement points are improved by his perception. And he uses perception for reflexes, okay. And his melee attacks gain extra hit from awareness. Okay, yeah, I can see the build here. You pump perception, you pump awareness, and then you stack everything around that. But his melee is expensive. That sucks. Discipline Wayseeker. This unique discipline allows the Psyker to enhance their own and their allies' combat abilities. The effect of the Wayseeker's abilities is calculated using the value of morale instead of their degradation. Dual Wielding Specialist and Telekinesis. And he is using Eldari stuff. He has Telekinesis, he has Guiding Light. The Wayseeker and allies under the effects of guidance gain the Guided Steps ability for 1 round. And this allows unit to move through enemies and allies and move without attacks of opportunity. Okay. Guidance is... there are some passives that this is building on. Okay. Passives that I don't think we have. Okay. This is guidance. Okay. Okay. So this is like a variation of the officer class from the Rogue Trader, but built as a psyker. That's interesting. That is interesting. And he has Eldari armor, he has Corsair power swords, he has a shuriken catapult, and a grenade. Ooh, interesting. Definitely interesting. Doesn't look like these people have psi rating. Maybe psi rating is not a thing anymore. That could be the case. But in any case, this is where we will end today's episode. And tomorrow we will continue our cool, fun investigations. Thank you for watching, everyone, and have a good day. Goodbye.